Welcome, everyone. I'm now calling this meeting to order. Please stand with us. We'll be led in prayer by Alderman Gallagher. Please remain standing after that for the Pledge of Allegiance that will be led by Alderman at Large George Payne.
Heavenly Father, we come before you and ask you to bless our meeting tonight, Lord. Give us wisdom, Lord, that only you can give us, Lord. Lord, we also want to just pray for the families in Minnesota, Lord, that underwent the shooting, Lord. We thank you that the shooter was not able to get through the door, Lord, and we're thankful for all the kids that were saved out of that, Lord, and just be with the families who lost their children, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First on the agenda this evening is the approval of minutes for the August 19, 2025 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Hoots, second by Alderman Payne. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis.
Yes.
Alderman Hoots.
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
And the floor.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda, we will have a public hearing for the proposed FY26 budget and tax millage. Before we open the floor for the hearing, I'm going to go ahead with the presentation. We can start with the first page. So just going through a highlight here. Everybody has it on their screen right there. So just summarizing, very detailed budget. General fund, I'm not going to read all the numbers, but you can see there. So just hitting the highlights. Scroll back up just real quick, I'm sorry. So our general fund is $83,316,966. Total is $125,645,315. Then I'm breaking it down by departments. So if you want to see where the money is being allocated in the city, you can see all the 11 departments and how the budget, the general fund budget, is broken down. You'll note that the largest budget by far is the police budget at $27 million. Fire budget right behind there at $16.4. In the police budget, it is important to note, I'll hit it later in the presentation, but part of that money is confiscated funds, so the total budget didn't go as, I have it later on, but part of that does include the confiscated funds as well. But even still, you can see how the money is allocated, and it's geared towards public safety with the highest priority. Then moving down, as we get into notable budget components, let's go down, please, for me just a little bit. And so the budget increase total was about $5.4 million, up from last year. But if you look, these are the things that are notable in the budget. It's almost $5.9 million of additional things that are in the budget. So you see that it includes a police pay increase of 5%. That also includes open positions and our dispatchers. Then you have overtime pay increase adjusted to what's realistic. We increased the amount for new police vehicles. We were at $300,000 last year. We're at $600,000 this year. Fire pay increase of right at 4%. A new ambulance. You can see ambulances are not cheap. Last year, you may remember that we set the budget at $5 million in the general fund for street resurfacing because we had a payback from the Department of Revenue for a sales tax error that they made that got us to $7 million. Well, obviously, we don't have that $2 million this year, so we got to fund that out of general fund. So that's included in this budget. Landscaping service contracts were rebid. Again, when we bid services, the city doesn't have control over what they are. We have to take the lowest and best of what the market provides us, and that was the lowest, but it's a $230,000 increase, which is significant. Property casualty insurance, as we talked about at a previous meeting, this is not a rate increase, but more so a valuation increase. So like we built more facilities in the city, as inflation happens and the cost of reconstruction goes up, to have our buildings properly insured, we had to raise the insurable amount. So when you raise the insurable amount, that causes the premium to go up as well. So we had our total property casualty insurance is $2.3 million. That's an increase of $503,000 in 1 year. I mean, that's a tough one for 1 year. Then we have our our facilities renovation projects. We prioritized those. The first one is the Fire Station 3 renovation. And then the second one is a new roof. We've been, doing patchwork at Fire Station number 2, so that's critical too. So that's a total of $500,000, and that's a $185,000 increase from last year. So there's you $5.9 million. So you see in 1 year the things that we have to deal with and address. I mean, it's a significant amount of money. So let's scroll down and just go through some key facts with you. So the total budget last year was $121 million. Now it's 125. We just talked about that. General fund going up from 75 million to 83 million. The general fund revenue and expenses are 5,411,158, and again that excludes the restricted police confiscated funds, which are shown in the total general fund. Then we all know that this year we had something we've never had to deal with before. The Department of Revenue put a mandate on the DeSoto County tax assessor that we had to change the way we do business up here. So we had to start assessing properties at a minimum of 85% of their market value, whereas last year they were assessed at 54%. So obviously that's a tremendous change. I mean, that's something that, when we got the news of that, I first heard about that sometime in the spring, and I knew then, I'm like, wow, this is going to be a big deal. And so we've known that it was going to be a big challenge, but we've addressed that. So in the proposed budget that we have, we've crunched the numbers to both meet our budget needs for our city, but also cut the millage as much as we could to still do that, which is the proposed millage rate is going from 46.78 to 40.45, and that's a reduction of 6.33 mills, which is a 13.53% decrease, which is the largest decrease of any DeSoto County city. Again, things we can't not think about. We always have to be conscious of inflationary challenges. And I try to explain this to people. People don't always get this, but I'm gonna try to make this real simple. So when we have inflation to the things that the city has to pay for, we have 100%, we eat 100% of that. We have to deal with 100% of what the cost of it is. But people say, well, you get the same benefit in return for sales tax with inflation, but that's not true. For sales tax, we're only getting 7% of an 18.5% sales tax diversion from the state. So when you do the math on that, that equates to only a 1.30% benefit from inflation, whereas you're getting a 100% detriment from inflation. And y'all, this board knows over the last 3 years, we've dealt with unbelievable inflation. So and we still face that. I mean, it's not over, even though inflation rates have been much better this year. Still, the prices are much higher, than the revenue that we were, receiving in previous years. The relationship has changed dramatically, the ratio. Then we talk about PERS. Everybody knows that the state is trying to find out what the solution is to the concerns with PERS being insolvent, and I have total confidence that it's not going to become insolvent, but it's on a path right now to being insolvent. And so something has to change with PERS. There have been some things done to it. There are still some strategies being done now to start funding PERS better, or making up the shortfalls with just a cash insertion. However, what's been a policy in the past and what's still being discussed is pass that back to the local governments. And so we've seen serious budget challenges on the cities when they put the burden back on us to make up the shortfall. So that's still a strategy out there. So that's something we have to be conscious about at all times as well. Just some key statistics. Police and fire budgets, we have 11 departments, but just the 2 police and fire budgets equate to 52.35% of our total general fund. Again, it just shows our commitment to public safety. It has to be that way. It needs to be that way. We don't begrudge it being that way, but just the fact of the matter is that most of our money goes for public safety. The police budget, just to give you some comparables, in FY13, the police budget was $9,945,565. This year it's $27,214,475. That's a 174% increase in the police budget. Fire budget, very similar, $9,389,393 in FY13. Now it's $16,399,191. That's almost a 75% increase in the fire budget. Police and fire personnel. We have 500 70 positions in the city now. Police and fire personnel equate to 61.40% of our total employees. So you see 210 in police, 140 in fire, equals 350 divided by the total of 570. So most of our personnel also is geared towards police and fire. As we talk about the assessment, you know, since that is a big deal for this budget year, it's important to note that we have, this is crazy now, how fast this has changed. But we now in Southaven have 20,365 single-family dwellings. Think about that, 20,365 dwellings. So these changes, you know, with the assessments, you know, the money is, you know, it's spread over a large tax base in a city as big as Southaven. So let's scroll down, and I just did this just to reassure and to give an example for every taxpayer in Southaven. If you own a real property, if you own a house, and you own cars, and you pay taxes in Southaven, this is a real life example of what this assessment and the application of the city's adjusted millage rate means to a real household. So if you look at this house was valued at $360,000, which is 54% of its market value in 2024. So there, $1,688.15 was the city ad valorem. So with the millage, after the assessment increase to $501,857, and the city adjusting the millage down to 40.45, that equates to $2,030, which is a difference of $341.86 that this homeowner is going to pay this next year for the property taxes with the house. Then I added, these are the changes that the county and the school system did, and you can look at those numbers too. The county adjusted their mills down to 34.25. The school went down to 42.88. And so then you got $300 homestead credit for this homeowner. So your total ad valorem increase with all the changes, $676.88. So in this situation, with this assessment, it only applies to real property. So business personal property, automobiles, utilities, and 65 plus homestead, frozen homestead exemption citizens are actually going to have a decrease when you adjust the millage. So for this homeowner, then you look at the auto situation, what it does to them. So here's a list of the vehicles in the household and how much this homeowner paid for auto tags. And so you total that up, and that's a total auto ad valorem of $1,812.43. Well, then you go back, if you look at the millage adjustments for both the city count, for all three, city, county, and school, that adds up to a 16.4% millage cut total. So if you take that $1,812 and calculate the 16% millage cut, that equates to $297.24 for the year. So then if you want to know the total impact of this change, you take the home increase, then you take the decrease of the autos, and that results in a net situation of $379.64 a year. And if you divide that by 12, that's $31.62 a month. So I illustrate this to show we didn't ask for this assessment. The cities didn't create this. This was laid in our lap to fix this situation, and we've done that. But it's impossible when you're decreasing the auto tags and the other. There has to be an increase to have a balanced budget, or you would create budget deficits. So we didn't ask to be put in this situation, but we've dealt with it. We've crunched the numbers. We've dealt with it the best way possible. And the net result for this homeowner is $31.62 a month. And so, again, I would make the argument that although we don't like that, everybody loves low taxes, we have budgets that we have to meet, and we didn't ask for this reassessment situation, but that's $31.62. And it's even going to be less. I mean, this value of this home is higher than the median home value in Southaven, so that number is even going to be less for smaller homes. I think just the most crunching I've done with Jeff Fitch, the tax assessor, we don't have that exact data, but we believe the average home value in Southaven is about $350,000 right now. Whitney, does that sound about right to you?
Yeah.
All right. So this is a home that's valued at $590,000. So a home that's at 350 is going to be considerably less. Obviously, their auto situation will impact that. But again, the point to make is this is not going to be the difference in somebody buying a house or not buying a house in Southaven. Y'all follow me there? So then, in the conclusion of this is what I briefly addressed a couple minutes ago. Real property taxes must increase with a mandated assessment change to prevent budget deficits, as millage reductions significantly reduce revenue for 65-plus frozen property exemptions, automobiles, business personal property, and utilities. However, as illustrated, this increase is significantly minimized by millage decreases. So that's it. So before we open the hearing, is there any discussion or questions from the board?
Mayor, this is one of those things that we're going to have the opportunity again next year to fine tune it even more, once we know how everything plays out.
Great point. I mean, you know, this is something that hasn't happened here before. So anytime you have a change like this, it's just drastic. There's always going to be things that you didn't expect, or, you know, there's a little glitch here and there. So obviously we'll know after we go through this 1 year, then we'll have a real life example of exactly how it played out, so we can make adjustments at that time as well. Sorry. Any other discussion or questions among the board? Hearing none.
If you would, real quick, you had mentioned PERS in your discussions and talking about the significant increase that has been added on municipalities and governmental entities to pay for PERS for state government employees. I remember, I believe when I was first elected I think in 2009, I think it was around 9% is what the cities paid into as far as for each employee. What is it today?
It's almost double. Melanie, what is it? It's almost double that, isn't it?
It will be 18.4 in July, and then it increases 0.5% each year for the next 2 years.
2 years? Because I know at one point, I think 2 years ago, that they were talking about mandating, before they made their new tier, that they were talking about mandating like a 2% increase for the next 5 years to ultimately get to like an additional 10% from cities, which is almost unsustainable for anybody.
It is, no doubt. It's a great point. They did somewhat back off, like during the legislative session, with all the discussions about HB1 and everything else. They kind of backed off of that. But the way I understand it is all options are still on the table. So they haven't ruled out, you know, passing, you know, further financial requirements back to the cities and counties as well. So it's just the scary thing about it, it's an unknown. It's something that we have to be responsible. You know, we don't deal in ideologies and theories. We deal with where the rubber meets the road. We're the ones actually paying our police and paving streets. We have to be careful. We're not like the federal government that can operate at a deficit. We have a balanced budget. And so when there's these unknowns like that, we have to have some flexibility in the budget to be able to address that for sure.
Exactly.
Melanie, it's 18.4 July 1st of next year, correct?
18.4% this year. We're currently at 17.9.
That's right, until July 1st, right?
Yes, that's right.
And then it'll go up again.
Next year we'll go up another 0.5%.
And we'll, you know, during the legislative session in early 26, we will be advocating for other ways instead of just passing it on to the cities. I mean, at some point, there are consequences to that. When you start putting that burden all back on the cities, you know, again, it limits us to how many personnel we can have. It affects our ability to grow in, you know, our police department. And there's no secret, we're trying to hire officers. We're trying to grow. And so, you know, when you have these extra burdens that are placed on you, it limits our ability to do that. We're not a private business. You know, a private business, when you have inflation, they just raise the price of the product. You know, we can't, you know, we can't do that. So it's tough to be a public entity and have to face not only inflation, but these, you know, these mandates that are put on you by the state that are, you know, so volatile and unknown. Okay, if there's no other discussion among our board, we'll go ahead and open up the hearing. Is there a motion to open a public hearing for the budget and millage discussion?
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Wheeler. All in favor say aye.
Yeah.
Any opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. The public hearing is now open. Does anyone want to speak about the budget? Anyone have any questions or comments about the budget? It doesn't appear we have anyone that wants to speak. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Wheeler. All in favor say aye. All opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. The hearing is closed. So we will adopt the budget on a week from today, September 9th. So we will have a meeting to adopt the budget on September 9th. Okay, next on the agenda is the Walgreens agreement. We tabled this at the last meeting. This is about the flu shots. In the past, Walgreens, our employees can go wherever they want to get their flu shot, but we do have a situation where Walgreens will come here. I know Alderman Lewis mentioned that there was another alternative that she wanted for us to consider, but anyway, we'll open that, take a motion to pull this off the table and open it up for discussion.
Second.
Got a motion by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Gallagher. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. The issue is open for discussion.
So currently, any employee can go to their own doctor and get.
Melanie, would you come forward and explain? I mean, you can do this 1,000 times better than I can.
Yes, sir, currently,
Are employees limited at all where they can get
no,
their flu
they are
shot?
not limited anywhere. So they have their insurance card, they can go to their primary care physician, they can go to CVS, they can go to Walgreens, they can go to First Pharmacy Services, they can go to the shot nurse. All they need is their insurance card. And so that's what they can do. And we've seen the numbers go down from, like, when we first started, the city started in 2017, we had over probably 140 employees that actually would come here to City Hall and actually get their flu shots every year. We've seen that dwindle down as we've educated our employees about where they can get their flu shots. Some of them go, they get their flu shot, they get their shingle shot, they get a wide variety of vaccinations and shots from their PCP or even Walgreens, CVS, a host of different pharmacy services. So they can go anywhere. We still have this for convenience, mostly for our firefighters who come in bulk. They come here to City Hall and get it done. However, we've seen many years before, where they actually now say if they're out on a service call, all in the fire truck, they'll just stop by whatever pharmacy is close to them, get it taken care of, and then go back to the station house.
But if they had a Walgreens if they say we have a firefighter that lives in Hernando or Olive Branch and they're on their way home, if there's a Walgreens on their way home, they could stop there and
That is
grab
correct.
their flu shot if they wanted.
That is correct.
Okay.
What's the status on that first pharmacy? What's that? I know they were gonna put in a request to do the same thing.
Right. My recommendation is we continue to use Walgreens. We've used them since 2017. However, after speaking with the First Pharmacy Services, they have some other services I believe we can market to our employees. So we'll do that as well. But we've used Walgreens for quite some time now, so there's no real reason to change at this point in time.
Other than, I'm one of these kind of folks that I like to use a local company if we can. And I know this other companies are local. They're not a national chain and that kind of stuff. So, it's my thoughts. I like to promote, take care of the people.
My recommendation is Walgreens has been a trusted and a convenient and valued vendor, so that's my recommendation. That's why we should continue to use them.
And First Pharmacy had also done the city's immunizations up until right before 2020 when we had the pandemic.
I looked at the records. The records go back to 2017, and that was with Walgreens. The agreements were with Walgreens. And so I looked back at all the records once I spoke with you to see, and that's why my recommendation is that Walgreens is a trusted vendor. They have been since then, so that's why. At the end of the day, we don't even have to have one at City Hall. This is just a convenience thing for those that, might want to stop by here and have it done. We don't pay any costs for this. This all goes through our Blue Cross Blue Shield in Mississippi. That's why they have to have their insurance card. For example, non-benefit eligible employees can't have it done. They can't have the flu shot because they're not benefit eligible. They do not have our insurance. If we have an employee that did not elect our insurance, they can't have the shot done, right? Because Blue Cross is essentially paying for it. We're paying essentially their premiums, but it all goes through our health insurance. So really, there is, it's just a wash. It's
So
just a
this isn't
convenience
the company
factor.
that's administering all of our flu shots. This is just who's going to come to City Hall and give them
That's correct.
for convenience.
That's correct. It's just
They
pure
can go wherever
convenience.
they want.
Right. They can
They-
go.
This is a
Anywhere.
convenience.
I got you.
Anywhere.
Okay.
Walgreens is all over the place, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So is
Every
CVS. And First Pharmacy is there conveniently located on Getwell Road. There's a host of pharmacy services. There's also Shot Nurse. They can get it from Shot Nurse if they want to go by Shot Nurse. They can go by, whatever primary care physician they feel most comfortable with. They can get their flu shot. It's all included in the health insurance plan.
Is there a motion to approve this? If not, I'll make it now.
You're making what's your motion, sir?
To approve the agreement with Walgreens?
Okay, so we have a motion to approve this agreement by Alderman Flores. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Gallagher. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis.
No.
Alderman who?
No.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
No.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
All right, help me with the math.
3-3.
3-3. I vote yes. Motion carries. Next on the agenda is resolution for final tax exemption for future electronics.
Mayor and Board, this tax exemption resolution is just for authorization to provide a final tax exemption for future electronics for 5 years for the personal property in the amount of $2,831,087. It has been previously approved by the board and submitted to MDOR. MDOR has approved it, so now it comes back from the board for final approval to send to MDOR. So tonight, need authorization for the mayor to sign the resolution for the final exemption for future electronics personal property, and this was recommended by the Economic Council and approved by the Board of Supervisors already as well.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Gallagher, second by Alderman Wheeler. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is contract change orders for asphalt supply and installation.
These change orders are just for an additional year to extend the term contracts with Lehman Roberts for an additional year for asphalt supply and installation. It's two separate contracts, so you can do it all in one motion, but it's just extending the term for the additional year for those two services provided by Lehman Roberts as under our currently bidded contracts with those two.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Hoot, second by Alderman Payne. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is our DeSoto County Jail agreement.
There's no agreement tonight. We just got it back, or just got the agreement on Friday afternoon, so all the cities are still reviewing it. It was just as a brief reminder that the agreement had been terminated effective September 30th. However, the agreement will be represented back to the board once it's finalized. There were some AG opinions on the cost for the agreement. The cost for the agreement will actually be $25 per day for days 1 through 30, and then $32.71 for days 31 and greater for municipal prisoners. That is actually less than what's being paid now under the AG opinions as far as the AG's interpretation. I understand that maybe some legislation next session to deal with that issue, which is not, I guess, germane tonight, but I will have that agreement at the next meeting for presentation. That will be the main two changes, and it will be the cost. But like I said, we haven't had a chance to fully review, just as a reminder that that's where we are with it. So next meeting we'll have that for finalization for approval. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Next on our agenda is a resolution to clean private property.
Mr. Mayor, move we adopt a resolution granting authority to clean private property as presented on the state.
I second.
Second.
Did you?
I
Yeah.
said second.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Lewis. Any discussion among the board? Hearing none, is there anyone in the audience who has a financial interest in any of the properties who would like to speak? Hearing or seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is our planning agenda. Ms. Whitney Cook.
Yes, sir. We have one item on the agenda tonight, and it is going to be a conditional use permit for a nail salon. This is going to be on the north side of Goodman Road, just east of Tullahoma. You'll recall we did a rezoning on it at the previous board meeting where we went from agricultural to C4. I'd indicated that at an upcoming meeting you would have what's called quote-unquote a nail bar. So this is that conditional use permit, and it's basically a formality to make sure they meet the distances, the half-mile radius rule. It does. With that in mind, the planning commission did vote unanimously in favor of it.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve item number 1 on the planning agenda.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Wheeler, second by Alderman Flores. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is our mayor's report. A few updates. September is, again, baseball weather, and so we have tournament this weekend at Southaven with 80 teams. So that's a big tourney. 80 teams coming to Southaven. Each team will have between 11 and 13 players, and most of them have 2 parents. So think about the amount of people that are coming and spending money in the city. So we continue to reap the benefits of the enhancements that we've done at our parks. Speaking of parks, next weekend, James Taylor will be performing at the Bank Plus Amphitheater. I thought it was funny when I was talking to someone quite a bit younger than me and asked them if they liked James Taylor, and they said they loved it. I said, really? I said, I'm kind of surprised you would appreciate James Taylor being your age. And that person said, well, I use it to put my babies to sleep. So, so kind of like, wow. So there's something in it for all generations. So James Taylor is one of those artists that has been around a long time, and actually he's a little old for me too, but still he's been around a long time. He's a classic artist, and so when we did the enhancements at the amphitheater a few years ago, that was one of the goals, is to bring artists that we've never had before. We've obviously done a really good job with country acts and Southern rock and stuff like that, but we want to have more. We want to bring people here that we've never had. I mean, big classic artists. And so James Taylor is the first one since then that really fits that classic, title. So anyway, James Taylor is going to be a great event in our city at his concert next weekend. Same weekend, we got our first Hummingbird Festival. So Alderman Wheeler is leading us through this. This is new to us, but we're all about to learn a lot about hummingbirds and everything, so I think it's going to be a great event. Not only did it beautify our park, man, the landscaping that's done out there, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It is gorgeous, and it just enhances our park even more. Snowden Grove was built as a baseball park, but it's so much more than that now. It's so much more than baseball now. We have everything out there, and so anyway, we're excited about that Hummingbird Festival. It'll be the first one we've ever had in Southaven. Last week we had the groundbreaking ceremony for the Hotel Convention Center. Had a few of y'all were there with us, and it was nice, wasn't it? It was a nice event, and
Big deal.
it's a big deal. And so obviously got a 240-room, 7-story Hilton Embassy Suites. The hoteliers and Hilton were both represented there. They're sitting on go. They're ready to get going with it and go vertical with it, and then the CVB and the county supervisors have solidified their commitment to issue, I think it's $39 million in debt, and then the CVB has used a lot of their cash reserves to expand the Landers Center. It's going to be a super special project for our city, but anyway, when you have the actual groundbreaking and everybody's there at one spot, it just we've been working on this thing for 8 years. And then to get everybody on one location, it just kind of reassures you that this thing is really going to happen. So it's going to be a big deal for our city and our county. And that's all I have this evening. Next on our agenda is we got a donation docket. Nick?
Yes.
Okay.
donation from Kimberly Monkman for $2,000 for the animal shelter. I just need authorization to accept that donation.
Mr. Mayor, I'm so moved. Yeah, second.
So we have a motion by Alderman Flores, a second by Alderman Payne. Any discussion? Just want to say thank you to
Thank you,
Kimberly Monkman. Thank you for, we'll use that money very well. That's that's very refreshing to have someone that just wants to donate some of their money to help us take care of the animals better. So we appreciate Kimberly Monkman. If there's no other discussion, roll call, please.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is our personnel docket.
Mr. Mayor, move we approve the personnel docket as presented on this date.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Hoots. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is our city attorney's legal update. Mr. Nick Manley again.
Just have one quick item. As you recall in the past, we've participated in the opioid settlements through the state of Mississippi as part of the class action. We've received a new notification that another settlement has been reached with 8 different manufacturers. So tonight, and we need to approve it, participation form by October 8th. In the past, we've authorized Andrea Mullen to sign these on behalf of the city through the city clerk's office, and she receives all the notices. All the funds that we receive through the settlement are then used as for opioid purposes or opioid abatement purposes, or the abuse of opioid abatement. Abuse of opioids to abate that condition. Anyway, so tonight need authorization to sign that participation form so that the money the state receives can be allocated to the city as part of our percentage as determined by the state.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Wheeler. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is our utilities billing leak adjustment docket.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the utility bill leak adjustment docket as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Hoots. Is that right? Any discussion?
What is the waste pro? It says irrigation line. Would it go right into a gutter or something?
I don't know, Ray? His question was about Waste Pro. Why is Waste Pro on?
Yes, they had I'm actually the one that found it. They had a line that was broke that they couldn't see it. It was around on the side of the building and it was running off in a ditch and they never did even see it until we brought it to their attention, so.
So it's at their facility on Southaven
Yes.
Road? Okay.
Did the meter catch it?
It did, but it was broken too, so it went pretty fast. It didn't take long to do it, but we didn't catch it immediately, but we did catch it, soon, so.
Thank you.
It went straight into a ditch? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That would make sense. No pool and water.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes. That's great.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda are 2 claims dockets.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve docket number 1 in the amount of $1,895,490.03, including demand checks.
Second.
On docket 1, we have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Flores. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries on docket 1. Is there a motion to approve docket 2?
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve docket number 2, this, docket number 2 in the amount of $22,473.72.
Second.
On docket 2, we have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Flores. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis.
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher?
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler?
Yes.
Alderman Flores?
Yes.
That motion carries too.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to determine the need for executive session.
Okay. Next on our agenda is,
Sorry, got a little ahead.
Alderman Gallagher is on it tonight. So he makes a motion that we determine the need for executive session.
Second?
Yeah.
Fir-
Can we have a
Whatever we
second?
need.
Second by Alderman Hoots. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. The needs this evening are economic development, interdepartmental personnel with no action, action with police personnel, and a utility claim. Is there now a motion to declare executive session?
So moved.
We have a motion by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Wheeler. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. The mayor and board will now enter executive session.